There are two ways to handle missing values. Either drop them or impute them. We'll look them one by one. We can drop missing values by two ways. First, drop all the rows which have missing values. Second, drop complete column which has missing values. We'll see how to handle missing data using Jupyter Notebook. First, we need to import few Python libraries. At the start, we'll import pandas and NumPy, and later we can import other libraries if needed. Now we'll import sales data file using pandas method, read CSV. We'll store it in data variable. Now we can see first few rows of our data using method data.head. Let's look how many columns have missing values. We can use is_na to check missing values, and then using some method we will count all missing values from each column. We can see that two columns have missing values: column item weight and column outlet size. We can also use is_null to check missing values. Both give same results. After loading Python libraries and data, now we can treat missing values. Firstly, we'll drop all the rows which have missing data. Here we use drop_na to drop missing values row by row. After running cell, we can check if our missing values are dropped or not. Yes, we don't have any missing values in our dataset. Second way to treat missing values by dropping complete column which have missing values. This code is similar to previous drop_na method. Here we passed axis equals 1 argument to our drop_na method. Note, axis equals 0 is used to select rows, and axis equals 1 is used to select columns in Python. Before proceeding further, let's look at the percentage of missing values present in each column. Data.shape0 gives us total count of rows. So we can count missing values using is_na, and then divide it by data.shape method. Finally, we multiply them by 100 to get percentage. We can observe that item weight column has 17% missing values and outlet size has 28% missing values. Drop methods are not recommended as we can lose important information. So we have another way to handle missing data is to impute them using related information about that row. Some imputation methods are dependent on our data type of columns. We can use mean or median to handle numerical columns, and mode to handle categorical columns. Let's take a look at them. Using D types, we can get all columns and their data types. Item weight column have float data type, and outlet size has object data type, which means it is a categorical column. Let's look at numerical columns first. How to impute missing data of numerical column using mean. Let's break the code in groups. First, we have to select our numerical column, which is item weight in this case. Then, we use fill_na method and pass mean of that column as parameter or argument. Finally, we can store modified column in same column name item weight. Similarly, we can use median to fill missing values of our data. We pass median of respective column as an argument to the method fill_na. We can see that missing values are 0 after imputation. Median is useful when our dataset have outliers. Now, let's look at categorical column. We need to use mode for categorical columns for imputation. Mode gives us most frequent values present in our column. Mode 0 gives us the value which have highest occurrence. Here we have selected our categorical column outlet size. Then we used method fill_na. Finally, we have passed our mode value as an argument to method fill_na. After imputing both numerical and categorical columns, we can see that method is_na shows no missing values. We can also fill missing values by any number or string we want. Let's look at item weight column. We gave 0 as parameter for method fill_na. So all missing values of that column will be replaced by 0. Similarly, we pass string missing for our outlet size column. Here, all missing values will be replaced by our given string. Our newly replaced values are shown in rectangles. Next method is forward fill. In this method, we replaced missing values by the previous valid value. We used method ffill, which fill missing values row by row. We can see that row index 6 values is given to row 7. We can use ffill for both categorical and numerical columns to replace missing values. Here we can see that previous row's value, medium, is given to our missing value of row 3. Our next method is opposite of previous method. It's backward fill method. Here, missing value is filled with next valid row's value. This bfill method can be used on both numerical and categorical columns. We can see 8th row's values is given to our missing value of row 7. For outlet size column, we can see 5th row's values is given to our missing value of row 4. Instead of using forward fill and backward fill method column-wise, we can directly use them on whole dataset if we want. Next method is to fill missing values with interpolation. We have to select our column, then method interpolate. Then we can pass method equals linear as argument to interpolation. We can use method equals to linear or polynomial as argument. We also have interpolation methods in SciPy library. Next method is advanced methods for filling missing values. We can fill missing values by using group by operations. Let's look at the code for item weight column. Here we use data.groupBy and give an item type as parameter because we want to group our data using column item type. We can select any column from our dataset which is better at predicting our missing values. Then we selected the column which has missing values, that is item weight and transform method. Then we have lambda function to select each row and transform missing value. Similarly, we can use mode for categorical column outlet size. Here we grouped our data by column outlet type. Remaining code is similar to previous one. Just replace mean with mode 0. We can see our missing value from outlet size is filled using information of the outlet type column. Lastly, we can use machine learning model to predict missing values. We can use regression, KNN, or other libraries for this task. For example, here I use Scikit-Learn library and Simple Imputer. While creating instance for Simple Imputer, we have to pass strategy argument. Strategy argument depend on our column type. For example, we can use mean, median, most frequent, constant, etc. Then we have to use method fit_transform to impute our data using imputer instance. As we can see using simple imputer on item weight, we filled all missing values. There are many method and parameters we can use for missing values imputation. You can check it on Scikit-Learn website or other related sources.